For centuries, the cake has been a symbol of delicious eating and friendship. So today, we will be making a delicious cake. Now the first thing we need to do is gather some ingredients. Well, now that we have all our ingredients set out, we are ready to begin. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is take your 2/3 cups of butter and then just soften it in the microwave for about 10 to 15 seconds. That's not right. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your 2/3 cups of butter and soften it in the microwave for about 10 to 15 seconds in order to get it to mix better with the mixer. So you're going to want to cook that for, let's say, about 15 seconds. And then once that's softened up enough, then we can add it to the mixer and add the other ingredients to it. Now after beating all of our butter, we need to add the sugar and the vanilla. So first you want to take your 1½ cups of sugar and just pour that right in until it's all in there. And then you're going to want to take about 1½ teaspoons of vanilla. So we have 1/2 teaspoon, 1 teaspoon, hello? Now the next thing we need to do is we need to add our eggs. So we're going to crack in our first one, and then we're going to mix that up for about a minute. And now we're going to add the second egg. This egg will also be mixed for about 1 minute. And now we're going to move on to the dry ingredients. Now one of the final steps in this process is we need to add our milk and our dry mixture to our batter. We have to mix it a little bit at a time. So we're just going to raise this up, turn this to about 2. And now once this is all done, you're going to
Brunel's pride comes from its community.
I feel so comfortable when I'm here. Grinnell is definitely my home.
A liberal arts education is about asking the big questions.
What are the theories? Economically, where's the money coming from?
There are connections to be made.
A lot of people come to Grinnell wanting to make the world a better place. Grinnell put me on a trajectory to help do that.
Art is an amazing way to look at the world. Art really teaches us how to see.
There's something about Grinnell.
Everyone has their own definition of being a Grinnellian.
Having too many things to do and still trying to do them all.
It's about being able to use my education, my opportunities to help people. Small or big, a difference is a difference.
We respect each other because we're part of one community.
Everybody is so friendly and so nice. It's just wonderful.
Now of course the last process is in cake baking as well, baking the actual cake. So once you have your oven preheated to 375 degrees and you have your greased and flour pan, what you're going to want to do is just take your batter and then just pour it.
You didn't follow the recipe.
Ready. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Alright, so now we're going to wait for this to cool down a little bit before we break open the shell. So we're just going to gently pry this bad boy out. So we're just gonna bang out the edges a little bit here so that we can get it out. Would you look at that? Beautiful. As you can see, most of our lab report is indeed intact, like we intended it to be. It's hot. So now, if we take a look at our finished product, we see that we have an entire lab report for our organic chemistry class with all of our pages are intact. It's included everything that we need in our lab report, which is exactly what we intended. We have our abstract, our introduction, we then have our reaction and separation scheme, followed by our results and discussion page as normal. It looks a little bit long, but I think I might have just left it in the oven a little bit too long, and that's why. We added maybe a little bit too much milk. It diluted it a bit, and thus we ended up with a bit of a thin conclusion. We also have our experimental and our references, and then we have our appendix, which includes all of our figures, which look just beautiful. It does get a little bit messy towards the end because the excess mass here does end up getting in the way, and it does soak it a bit too much. But overall, I would say that we have ourselves a very good lab report, and you can be proud to show all of your friends and family that you know how to bake a delicious lab report. So thank you all for tuning in. I hope this has been very informational to you, and I hope this helps you out with your lab experiences. Thank you very much, and this has been BakeRay.